the Vikings. This is interesting. This came out of the blue yesterday, and I've been fascinated by the lack of roster turnover in Minnesota. You got a new GM, new head coach, new coaching staff, and a lot of the same players. And at quarterback, the same room: Kirk Cousins, Sean Mannion, Kellen Mond. No changes. Now, the changes are afoot because in comes Nick Mullens for a conditional 2024 seventh-round pick. Basically, if he's on the roster for one game, the Raiders get a 2024 seventh-rounder. Chris, I look, there was a time when Nick Mullens showed some promise with San Francisco. He broke all of Brett Favre's records at the University of Southern Mississippi.
Right.
But then, I don't know, something happened.
Reality came. Yeah.
And Kyle got Nick Mullens the hell out of San Francisco.
Right.
I don't know. What's your thought on Nick Mullens joining this effort to back up Kirk Cousins?
Well, it's interesting too, Mike. I mean, you know, who was there practicing against Minnesota last week, right?
The Raiders.
No, the 49ers.
Oh, the 49ers,
right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they asked
the
about
Raiders.
him a little bit.
And they saw Mullens on. They didn't practice with them, but they saw Mullens
the week before
on Sunday, and then they see the 49ers. Good point. Got a chance to talk to some people about Nick Mullens.
Maybe.
And still traded for him.
Right. So, yeah, listen, he knows how to run an offense. That's anybody you talk to. Oh, he's a professional, and he picks up the playbook, and he's great in the meeting room and all of that, you know, but he's a second, third stringer. There's a reason teams keep going, oh, go to the next guy. You know, we the Raiders, we like Jarrett Stidham clearly as our backup. He's our guy there. But he does have experience that way. And to me, it says, Mike, and I don't know, you know, maybe you follow the Vikings closer than I do. Yeah, that like Kellen Mond is not in the trust tree. You know, Sean Mannion doesn't have much talent to begin with. So that's to where I just go, that's scary. And then Kellen Mond, you know, obviously hasn't done enough to make them feel like, wow, if Kirk Cousins goes down, we feel warm and cozy. Mond has talent. I actually liked the way Mond looked in the game the other day against the 49ers. Again, you know, it's hard to play quarterback when nobody blocks for you. I mean, they were getting steamrolled up front. His first interception wasn't his fault. He can't throw the ball and block the left defensive tackle at the same time. You know, the last interception was pitiful. That was maybe what they were like, oh, man, we can't trust him. Maybe that's what did it. But either way, yeah, they're not comfortable with that. And Nick Mullens, you know, he did, like you said, put together some good games in San Francisco and has a little more experience maybe or definitely than those other two guys.
Here's Kevin O'Connell, Vikings coach, on why he made the trade for Nick Mullens.
Add a quality player at that position to the room, a guy that has that kind of experience and really production for the 17 games started. Have good relationships with some guys that have coached him. I know Kwesi had a relationship with him, obviously, from his time in Cleveland. And then ultimately just, you know, the competition's going to go down to the very end here. And, you know, that does not mean it always just stays the same. Sometimes we may feel the need to add a player at a position, not just quarterback, just to try to maximize what we're going to be this year as a football team, and feel really good about all those guys in that room. And I know there's some plays we would have certainly liked to have back from Saturday, but still a lot of positives coming out of the game for both Sean and Kellen, and have asked those guys to continue to progress on where they're at within the offensive system in the competition, and we'll be able to sort that thing out when the time's right. But a chance to add a really good player was why we did it.
Look, bottom line, I think Mannion's out. They're not going to get rid of Mond. He's under contract for 3 more years. He's shown enough that you keep him around and you see what he's got.
Yeah, you got potential.
Yeah, but I think this means Mannion is out. Both guys, Mond and Mannion, told Chris Thomas in the St. Paul Pioneer Press yesterday they didn't know what was going on. They don't know what it means. Well, what it means is one of them is going to be gone by next Tuesday when the roster's cut to 53. They're not going to have 4 guys on the roster.
I would think so.
I think it means Mannion, bye-bye. Mond, number 3.
Right.
They'll carry 3 guys on the roster because you're not going to let Mond go through waivers and become a practice squad guy. That's not happening.
Right.
So it tells me that it's going to be Cousins, Mullens, and Mond taking up 3 of the 53 roster spots in Minnesota.
I would think that's right, Mike. That's my kind of feel. I'm with you there, no doubt. And yeah, you know, he alluded to it. You know, he's got some people that he's been connected to that, you know, obviously know Nick Mullens and what makes him. And he talked about that 17-game stretch he had. I mean, hey, we you know, again, this is the Kyle Shanahan magic. Don't forget about it. Like Mullens, what was the stat there for a while? For like the first 5 games he ever started, it was like the greatest start in the history of any quarterbacks ever. It wasn't because of Nick Mullens' unbelievable talent. He just, hey, Kyle, okay, you tell me to do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And that's where he's a good backup that way. They can depend on him to be smart and run the offense.
He had a debut for the age as a 34-3 win over the Raiders back in November
that Thursday
of
night game. I remember that. Right.
Yeah. So, you know, they're but I remember the Sunday night game. I remember when he signed with the Eagles at one point. I thought it's good that he's playing for the Eagles because he's already mastered the art of throwing the ball to Eagles players, because that's basically what he did the night that the Eagles and the 49ers played, and he was the 49ers quarterback.
That's what happened. You know, again, people started to go, okay, wait, Shanahan's doing this to hide this and hide this deficiency here, and it became, okay, now, wait, like we always talk about, the guy's got to make some throws and some plays by himself, and he left a lot of plays and yards on the field there through the stretch to where I think that was when they were like, okay. And then he started to turn the ball over, and then it was like, okay, you know, we'll find another backup. See you later.
Well, the Vikings, I think, will indeed say see you later to Sean Mannion. And Cousins has been very durable. That's one of the things he doesn't get appreciated enough for.
Right.
He's never injured, and maybe it's not going to be relevant or necessary for anyone to play in his place this year, but it looks like it'll be Mullens game day and then Mond, a guy who continues to develop.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.